G'day everybody, Darren here from Daz's Fishing Reel Servicing. I put a post up my Facebook page the other day about making sure everybody tighten their drag up before they wash the reels, and I really did that just to sort of bait a few people and just to see what the comments would be, because I get a lot of reels that come in where this thread here is stripped by the drag knob. I get a lot of drag knobs that come in where the nut inside is stripped, because people believe that to wash a reel that they need to tighten the drag right up. So I'm just going to explain why that's just not necessary. It's just what everybody thinks is the thing to do, but it has no effect whatsoever. So inside your drag, you either have a carbon drag or a felt drag that's greased. On the drag knob, you'll see a little rubber seal. I'm not going to put this on the reel because I'm not tightening it up. Once that goes together, that's where the drag knob sits. The seal, if you're very lucky, and it's not bad on this one, the very outer edges of that seal just feather the spool. And most of them don't even touch the spool. It's designed so that when you tighten your drag up, they don't want that rubber seal from hitting the spool and affecting the drag. So it's really just a bit of a splash guard. It doesn't protect it. And people think that by tightening it up that they're going to push the drag knob down and it's going to seal up and stop water getting in. When in fact, every drag knob has a spring and a nut, and that nut is floating. It's not fixed inside the handle. The spring works like a shock absorber. So when you tighten your drag down onto the washers here, it's not like a one-to-one turn. The spring compresses and keeps the pressure even and makes your drag run smoothly. So once it's in contact with the top of the drag, if you keep tightening your drag, nothing's happening except for the floating nut in here is moving downwards and compressing the spring. So it does absolutely nothing. As long as your drag knob is just in the on position, tightening it up not necessarily whatsoever, and it does more harm than good. If you've got a carbon drag, you're not going to compress anything, so it doesn't matter. But if you've got a felt drags are only good for a couple of kilos of drag pressure at best. And they work by being greased. And it's not the felt that's the friction material, it's the grease that causes the drag. So you want them plumped up and greased properly to make your drag work properly. So if you're over screwing your drag to wash your reel, you're actually squeezing the grease out of the drag washers and making your drag less effective. It does more harm than good. So how do you protect your drag? If you've got carbon drag washers, if you grease them, then wipe all the grease off. You get really good contact with the carbon washer on the stainless steel metal washers, and the grease that you wipe on and wipe off is only there to stop the porous material, the porous carbon washer from absorbing salt water and turning into crystal. And with a felt drag washer, if you've got it greased properly, you'll notice that once it's greased and you just put some pressure on the top washer, you'll see some grease come out around the edge. That means the drag's completely sealed. And if your felt drag is like that, then it doesn't matter. The water can't get in and do any damage anyway. So tightening a drag, not necessary. It's a Mythbusters. When it comes to game reels, tightening a drag up, all your drag's in here, it's sealed off. The water can't get into it. Having a tight drag means absolutely nothing. They don't have a spring in there. They have cupped washers, and those cupped washers on the main shaft are what makes your even drag pressure on your washers. Once you've washed your reels, you can actually just back them off a little bit just to take the pressure off those washers. You can back your drag knob off on your spinning reels just to take the pressure off the washers. But if you never, going back to the felt drag washers, if you only ever use enough tightness for the drag that you need and you don't over tighten them for any reason, if you get snagged or anything, just hang on to the spool. The less pressure you put on, the longer that your grease is going to stay in your washers and the longer they'll last over time. So there you go, just something special for a Sunday. Talk to you later, bye.